This season, the man has a torn ACL.
Please.
But this
Welcome to episode 47 of the Harvester Sports podcast. We're your hosts, Noah
and Austin. R.I.P. Tyler's gone again.
It was good while it lasted.
Yeah, it was good. He said, "I'll be back. I just have a meeting today." I was like, "Okay, I get it. I get your career's more important than us."
He's got a
wife and kids now.
Run goalposts. Yeah. How old's a little Ty turning?
He's turning.
He just learned to walk, right?
Yeah, he just learned to walk. Tyler's actually turning 21 soon.
No, I was saying Lil Ty, his son, his oldest son.
Oh, Ty Jr.
Yeah, Ty Jr.
Yeah, he's like 6.
Okay. 21, 6. He's 21. His son is 26. Yeah, okay.
All right, let's get right into it with some. Let's break down some preseason games. Okay, I have 3 that we can talk about. First, let's talk about the Raiders. Right, most important. A little bit of worry again. I've talked about their offensive line scared me, but I come from a family that we've sacks float like or whispered in our house. It's like saying Voldemort out loud. Okay, but the Raiders quarterbacks the past 3 games have been sacked 13 times. And if they keep this, if this was the normal season, they would be on pace for 4 sacks a game, ending with 68 sacks, which you mentioned still doesn't break the record.
Yeah,
but still
with more games.
Yeah, with more, which still feels like a lot, though.
I feel like really, you just got to be numb to the sack. You got to be numb to the sack. Just don't get injured. Yeah. He just needs to stay loose.
Yeah, he just needs to warm up.
Stay loose. When you go down, just don't get hurt. It's easy.
He just gets hit.
Yes. Don't let anybody roll over on your leg.
I think what really hurts you is like the bad vibes. Like when you get tackled, it's a mindset to get hurt or not. So I just got to tell Derek that.
Yeah, no, you could for sure choose whether you want to get hurt.
Yeah, he needs when he gets hit, he just lays there and he goes, "This is a good one." But it's still preseason, so we always say like don't be too worried or overhype things. How long into the season, like regular season, will you say, yeah, our line's actually bad? Will you give it like after the first game?
I'll say it right now.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think there's. I don't know. You just want them to get better.
Yeah.
They're not going to get worse throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. And also, a question I had is like Alex Leatherwood was our first round pick last year. Do you think? Because this is a whole new regime, right? These guys didn't draft him. Yeah, RIP boy. Oh my bad.
What?
I think you're having a heart attack. I was going to say RIP. Just trying to kickstart it again. But Alex Leatherwood was
doing the Wolf of Wall Street thing.
Alex Leatherwood was a draft pick from the last regime. Do you think that like because it wasn't these guys' picks, it wasn't Josh McDaniels' pick? Do you think they'll be do you think we could see them move on from Leatherwood soon, or do you think it's still like they're gonna give him a year at least?
Well, I think it's the same regardless of whether the person drafted him or not.
Yeah.
The only thing is if it doesn't work out, you can escape the blame and be like, well, we didn't pick him. But I mean, nobody is really, besides very few players, are picks of this coaching staff.
Yeah.
So they can move on from Derek.
That
wasn't their pick.
That's very a good one. They can move on from Derek, Waller, all of them. They just get them all out. Also, is it wild that probably Hunter's not on the list unless he's really high?
Yeah, I don't know when the next half of, or the next 40 picks or whatever, 30 picks of the NFL Top 100 come out, but I either he got highly respected as he should be,
or
completely disrespected, which I feel like that one's more likely.
Oh, yeah.
Tragic.
Because I feel like even though I think Hunter's an amazing athlete and as just a friend he's cool, if I see that he's in top 10, I'll be like, oh. Would you go oh yeah? Would you have to defend it, or would you just be like, oh man?
One of the weird things about the NFL Top 100, and I get that this is picked by players, so it's picked by players that they play with, but it is tricky to compare different positions when you've got guys like Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah,
he's number 100. He's the best player at his position.
Yeah,
probably the best person to play that position for a while.
Yeah,
and then you've also got. Has Justin Tucker been on the list yet?
I think he was 99 or something.
Yeah, Justin Tucker is real high up there or real low down on the list.
However you want to say, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Tucker's not very high up on the list, but he is potentially the best player to have ever played that position.
Yeah.
So it's hard where you're like compare.
It is weird.
It's tough to. I don't know how you compare different positions, but it's like this guy's the best player that has ever played at his position. Yeah. That being said, I'm not arguing that he should be like number one or somewhere up there, but also it's just. I don't know how you compare those positions.
Because it's not like it would be way easier if it's like here are our best quarterbacks. Like here's like each person ranked the best quarterbacks, running backs, whatever. This is just here are the best players in the NFL. So you see positions get thrown around. Like they're putting like quarterbacks and like Aaron Donald usually are in like the top 5 together. It's like weird stuff like that. Kickers and fullbacks are always like very up at the top, but at the bottom, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird to say, but yeah.
That's why I'm glad that it's like chosen by players and it's like done that way, because if you sat me down and said sort the top 100 best players in the league, my mind would explode trying to compare different positions like that.
I'd like, can I just separate them?
But that's also why football is so much different than like basketball. The GOAT debate is really big because you can compare different positions relatively easily. Like whether it's like power forward, shooting guard, whatever, versus the NFL. Like, how could you say like who's a better player, Tom Brady or Jim Brown? Like how are you going to compare a fullback, running back to a quarterback? Like it's just.
And then, but it's always like, oh, here's who has the most points in the NFL, and they're all kickers. So it's like, okay, so are these the greatest players to ever play the game? They've scored the most points. It is really interesting. I think you're totally right. I think it'd be really hard for me to pick. I would want to sort it, but you can't. It just goes. It's also weird because like, how do they order? Because I know like a bunch of players, like they write who their best guys are. Are they just taking the averages of who's where?
I have no idea.
That's interesting too, because it's like this guy has him at 90, this guy has him at 30. Does that mean it?
Yeah, and I don't know what do the players fill out?
I think they fill like a paper and they actually have to list.
Are they list? They're not all listing 100 players, are they?
I hope. Okay, and the one where
if they said every player list your top 100 players and they averaged it out, that'd be wild.
Oh, that's so. And also, you have to think every player that they ask puts themselves right on
and
the
their
list.
teammates,
on
their friends,
everybody.
But also, everybody has guys like that, so I think it evens out. Like,
that is really. I do now want to know how they actually sort it. Because if they're just averaging, this is gonna be wild.
But if I'm like just some random receiver, I'm putting myself number 1 overall.
I'm putting myself number 1 and then have fun at that average. But then I have to be somewhere. Right? If it's number 1 and then no one else puts me on the list, I feel like I would rise to the top somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, and now let's talk about the Cowboys for a little bit. Another big team in the NFL, but the Cowboys are in the news because yesterday during their game, it's being said that they found the next Devin Hester in KavonTae Turpin. KavonTae was named the USFL MVP and had 2 kick returns in the first half yesterday, and then they subbed him out. They saw that and they said, "You're good. You're good." At least with that makes me feel like he's probably going to make the team at least.
Yeah, no, I think that people read way too into subbing in and subbing out in the preseason.
Me too.
Like there's some guys that it's like, okay, you're like, take a quarterback, for instance, regardless of whether you do amazing or horribly, we have you set to play the third quarter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, it does not matter. Like Derek, I don't think Derek's played a snap. Derek hasn't played a snap this preseason, but he usually, if he does, he'll play like 1 drive. That's it. And that's pretty normal for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, for starting quarterbacks, yeah. I mean, even like backup quarterbacks, like sometimes you'll have like 1 plays the first half, 1 plays the second half. Does that mean that the guy that played the first half sucked, so they subbed him out at halftime? Mm-hmm. Probably not. Yeah. Probably just means they wanted to.
Yeah. That's why I'd even mention, because people were freaking out on Twitter about Leatherwood being subbed out. I'm like, we just don't really know. Like, they're just putting guys in to see what fits best
you just try stuff.
Yeah. It's
because you're not going to, you don't have flexibility to try stuff in a real game.
No, during game 1, you have to have this stuff figured out, what your best lineup is. These games are the ones where you can throw people everywhere.
How much of an advantage do you think it is for the Raiders and...
Oh, you're talking about the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
That was the Jags. They played the Jags.
Or Jags,
yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I never thought about that.
Is that fair? Is that fair of the NFL that the Raiders and the Jags haven't basically an extra preseason game? Because I think preseason games, that's more time to run stuff.
100%.
Like, try stuff.
You get to test stuff out, and then you get to see how your younger guys do. That for sure, I feel like has to do something.
Yeah, that is. It is.
Have you been
I don't know how
watching-
they. I don't know how they decided that those were the two teams, but it's funny.
Have you been watching Hard Knocks?
No.
Okay, it's all right. It's pretty good, but they were getting like people were like flaming them and like players were getting mad at them because they were doing live tackle drills at practice to get them ready for the games. It's basically what they're doing in preseason. Like you're getting these guys ready to tackle. The guys that have been practicing tackling like more like against live contact probably gonna be better during the regular, like at least warmed up during the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a lot. I mean, I think there's some guys that you want to be careful with it, especially with quarterbacks. I don't think you want Aaron Donald laying into Matt Stafford all practice long.
You gotta be ready for it.
But like,
you think that's not gonna happen? You're gonna have 0 sacks at the end of the year?
But yeah, I mean, can't have guys in Oklahoma drills anymore.
Could you imagine if they put the NFL quarterback through the Oklahoma drills?
Yeah,
Back in the day, Derek Cleel.
Yeah, if that's how they trained quarterbacks to get better at avoiding tackles and stuff, they say, all right, Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Oklahoma drill, get after it.
Exactly. There's like, all right, guys, good luck. I think I would. Never mind. I was about to say something really disrespectful.
Yeah, out of 100 times you going Oklahoma drill against Aaron Donald,
how many times do I die?
Zero times you make it. How many times do you die?
Yeah.
Probably 70.
There is a time where I think he kills me.
I feel like if I went against Aaron Donald in an Oklahoma drill, I feel like there's at least if I go against him 100 times, there's at least 5 times where I still have the ability to walk afterwards.
Yeah, no, yeah. I totally agree. But there's like, if I have pads on and you let like prime like Cam Chancellor, Steve Atwater hit me out of 100 times, there's one of those times I probably might die for real. Like there's a solid chance I could die.
I mean, yeah.
I think it would be like, I would see him coming and my heart would just go, no. It would just turn off. It'd be like, you can't feel what's about to happen. So
It's
we're
like
just going to get it out.
how they say that people, like if you go parachuting and your parachute doesn't open, they say usually you die of a heart attack before you hit the ground. That's what happens when you see like 250 pounds of lean muscle running at you. Your heart stops.
My heart just steps in. It goes, a record scratch. We're good. He goes, we've had enough for now. You a Nike Elite guy?
When?
Like
middle
junior
school?
high? Yeah.
No, I was like a ankle sock guy.
Me too. I was always ankle sock
I
guy.
wore ankle socks and Vans, and then I transitioned into no-show socks.
Yeah, you did. You went the other way.
Yeah, no, the only time, but I got Nike Elites for like tennis and stuff. I wear Nike Elites.
I wore those, during practice and stuff. But like during like normal school, you gotta be a little hot in there.
I think the athletic socks that I wear, I think are technically Nike Elites, but they don't have the like blocks coming up the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if I feel like that is.
So you feel like fake, yeah.
But I did have for tennis one year. Our uniforms did come with bright highlighter colored Nike Elites with the blocks up the back. They were so pretty.
That is the cutest thing ever.
And straight highlighter shirts, and I wore shoes. They were highlighter shoes.
I thought you were saying, and I wore shoes. Okay, let's go into the next team. So, as a Raider fan in the AFC West, it's gonna be hard to say this, but the Chiefs again look like one of, if not the best teams in football yesterday, even after losing Tyreek Hill. I don't know if you
In a preseason game?
Yeah. But like even after losing Tyreek Hill, Justin Watson is the rookie name. He was electric all over the field, and Pat Mahomes took 24 snaps yesterday, and the Chiefs had 0 penalties, 0 downs that went for a loss of yards, and had 2 80-yard plus drives, leading touchdowns. And I was watching it, and I was sitting back watching. I was like, "This is going to be a fun year again." And the dad was sitting back, just going, "Wow." Like sometimes you have to be like, that's just greatness.
No, I think there have been over the course of this offseason, there's been some people for sure overreacting to the Tyreek Hill trade and how much it will negatively impact the Chiefs.
It's specifically how much it'll hurt Patrick Mahomes. Like they thought it's over. Here we go.
Exactly. That being said, I'm well aware of how great Tyreek Hill is, and specifically as a fast wide receiver, how much that opens up the field, stretches things out, and forces defenses to play differently. Yeah. That being said, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback with any receiving core.
Oh yeah, I bet we saw Juju in Clemson City. I bet in Kansas City we see him back at least a little bit to what he used to be. I bet he's free from Clemson City. Yeah, Juju. Does Did that just give you a flashback to me reminding you that he is on the Chiefs again?
What's their? He's not. Is he one?
I don't. He better not be. He's probably like.
Who's above him? I don't know.
Oh, why did I think you meant the number one?
No. I mean wide receiver one.
Oh, he's probably gonna be. Yeah, he's not gonna be their fast guy. He's gonna be like their throw it up guy.
Yeah, I mean, the TikTok dance guy.
He's
him and Jackson cooking pregame. Him and Jackson Mahomes.
He's specifically going to be their TikTok guy. Yeah, I already see him. Have you seen all over TikTok like teams doing the thing now where they put the camera up and they have the questions and all these guys walk by? Every team's doing it now, and I also love it. By the way,
the Raiders. Fun fact: out of the 32 NFL teams, the Raiders were the last one to
have a TikTok.
Use TikTok.
I don't even think they've posted anything yet.
Video. They occasionally they do, but it's not. They don't do stuff like that.
Why? It's fun seeing like this stuff. Like we always talk about like seeing the team like players interact and stuff. I think it's awesome.
I don't know, but that just can't be locked in no more.
Yeah,
can't be dialed in. Can't play football.
How come when I was watching, I was like, I saw one, I was like, oh, the Chargers did it. Oh, like these guys did it, and then I saw Boise State do it. Why'd anger fly at me? I don't think these are just calling. These are just like dudes my age. I guess the NFL, they're all dudes my age too. That just made me sad for a second.
Oh, I thought you were saying because it was Boise State specifically, but
oh, for sure, yeah. Boise's gross. I also saw some dudes.
Yeah, because I see San Jose State does that.
Do you? Yeah.
San Jose State. Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Exactly.
Shout out to Command Custom for the dope shirt.
The shirts are really clean. I can't lie. I've been wearing them a lot. I wear them to the gym. Nobody looks at me still, but it's still at least I feel good.
So if you want to get some shirts made, check out the boy.
Yeah, check out the boy. Okay, so I got some things to say about Dana White. I have them written down so I can perfectly articulate my words, right? Do you want me to look into the camera and look at you?
Are you about to deliver a monologue?
Yeah, I'm about to deliver a monologue.
Speak to the people.
Okay, so basically, let me yeah. My bad. You can chime in whenever you want, all right? But basically,
amen, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Just hype me up a little bit. Be my backup guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. In the back of the church, just, amen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So basically, let me give you some like context. Dana White basically said that he had a deal for the Raiders, gift wrap, to get Tom Brady and Gronk, right? He's like, I had the deal already. The Raiders just had to like get it done. First off, Dana White has no power in the NFL. He has no like signing power. He's not Brady's agent. He's not Gronk's agent. He didn't have a contract perfectly ready for the Raiders. What he did is text Brady if he has his number, or just tweet out. I can't remember which one it was. Like, Brady should go to the Raiders. You know why? His thing's in Vegas, right? UFC loves Vegas. That's like his home team, right? Of course, he wants to go watch Brady play. Everyone knows. Like, it's no disrespect to Brady. Brady's the best quarterback of all time and the most winning quarterback of all time. But okay, this is where I'm about to get into it. There's one thing there's a few things I hope Raider fans take from this, right? Because if this story is true, just let me say some things, okay? In 2014, the Raiders' Mark Davis and Tony Sperano chose Derek Carr to lead their team. In 2015 and 2017, Jack Del Rio chose Derek Carr to lead his team. In 2018 to 2021, John Gruden chose Derek to lead the team. And now, in 2022, following Derek's extension, Josh McDaniels has chosen Derek to lead his team. That's 5 head coaches in 8 seasons of Derek, and 5 if you count Rich Bisaccia, and that's 6 offensive coordinators in 8 seasons in the NFL. Now, I don't need to list all Derek's achievements, like having the 3rd most passing yards in NFL history in his first 8 seasons, or that he leads the league in game-winning drives of 29, or fourth quarter comebacks of 23. But what I hope as fans that we can see through this is that the Raiders front office, who presumably knows more about football than me, has chosen Derek Carr over these years than other options that have come to them, like Tom Brady. So as Raider fans, that should give you a little hope for this season, that over time the Raiders still have chosen Derek Carr, and they don't let some random dude, even Dan White's not a random dude, but just be like, I have this deal for you, right? The Patriots and whoever Brady was at the time did not go, Dana White said that, we should send him to the Raiders. Or Brady was not like, Dana White said I should go to the Raiders. I'm now going to get the Raiders. The Raiders didn't say, Dana White says we should get him. Now I'm going to get him. That's insane.
And if Dana White was the one making the deal, then Tom Brady would be getting paid $20,000.
That's right.
Man doesn't pay his fighters and then wants to talk about other sports and their contracts. What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing? Focus on focus on getting your boys the Duffy.
Yeah, focus on paying your own athletes before you come over here and saying where an NFL quarterback should go. It's just really, it was just really wild to me that some people are like think that like this whole thing meant Dana White like legit was like had his hand in like where Brady was gonna go. No shot. That was the wild part to me. But no disrespect to Brady. Like Brady's like the best quarterback of all time. It's just the Dana White part. Like Dana White thinks he has his power.
It's
in the NFL.
weird him bringing it up. The way in which you brought it up was not just like, yo, this is a crazy thing that almost happened, but like this is a crazy thing that I almost
almost accomplished.
Like,
and Brady completely forgot the Raiders were a team when he was making the decision. He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Now that Dana White points it out, there is a team in Vegas now.
Yeah, it is crazy that Dana White tweeted out Tom Brady to the Raiders, and then Tom Brady was like, oh, the Raiders are a football team. What if I went there? Because he had never thought about that before.
No, he had never
then
thought.
He brought, oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. They do have a football team out there now, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Brady was just like, oh, he's like, wait a minute. He's like, Gazelle, did you know there's a team in Vegas right now? A team that also specifically has beef with the man. You know what I'm saying? So it'd also be weird if Brady came, would you be able to accept the man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not anything like the Deshaun situation, but still, it's like we have very bad like beef with this guy, and now he's our quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, old head Raiders fans did not.
No, they don't.
They remember. They remember the tuck rule.
The Raiders remember.
I mean, yeah, not that it was Tom Brady's fault, but like
still,
it was.
It
wasn't that all, but also it was.
Yeah, it also is Tom Brady's fault that he keeps bringing it up and like now throwing it in the faces a little bit.
Yeah,
like, it was a fumble.
I think he did with Charles Woodson.
I'm like, okay, man, thank you. Okay, so now let's get into some NBA news. So Jayson Tatum says he's played on somewhat of a fracture. Don't really know what somewhat of a fracture is. For 2 months during the season. How do you feel about fans saying that this is an excuse or a lie altogether, and that everyone come playoff times has an injury? Do you think like this is because people are saying now like every time someone loses, they're just going to say like they were playing hurt? Do you think that like that's a valid excuse and like reason fans are bringing up?
I mean, it depends on whether he's telling the truth or not. Because fans don't know. I feel like that's more of just like a rushing to a judgment based on whether you like Jayson Tatum or not. You can't be
say, by the way,
oh, he's just making this up. Like, maybe he was hurt and he actually was being a big boy. Is it like the
oh yeah,
my tummy hurts, but nobody knows how brave I'm being right now. My tummy hurts. But I'm being a brave boy about it.
I will say a lot of the profile pictures I saw in the comment section had Lakers logos, so it's okay. Or Lakers photoshops.
Well, I think, if he was hurt, then he was hurt.
Yeah. I get where it's...
Like, yeah, if he's just making that up as an excuse, then that's incredibly weak and lame.
Yeah.
But also, if he actually did have a fracture thing, then...
Yeah.
Then you can say that, sure.
Yeah, sure. I get... Because I think the reason, like, we are hearing more about this as, like... the years go by, we're hearing players be like, I actually played this season with this injury, this season with this injury. It's just because there's more like ways for these players to like express their opinion, right? There's podcasts and stuff now. Guys are doing interviews everywhere. This stuff just comes out now. So, you know what I'm saying? If they can be playing on injury, I don't know if that should be an attack on them. Like, are they lying? It could just be like, that's sick. Like, that dude's a great athlete, strong human that he's playing. Like, that he's playing on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is also about how you bring it up. If you're like... Yeah, remember when I, remember when I played through a broken fingernail? Wasn't I so sick?
Yeah.
Versus if you're like, oh yeah, no, I actually I was battling with like a
100%
broken ankle that season.
Yeah. Or especially like even if it's like if you like maybe if you try to like blame your loss on the injury, or it's like it's like we lost that game, but I was battling with an elbow injury. It's like, okay, well, why would you just now you mention that out of nowhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I don't. I mean, I also do think there's something to be said for like if you are battling with an injury, strategically don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the moment, because teams will know that
they'll sense
like
that.
if I say like, oh, my one of the fingers on my right hand is hurting, then they could force you to lay it upright.
Exactly.
Try to push you out that way. There are little things you can do to where it might be better to just kind of fly under the radar, because every little information that the opponent has helps them.
Yeah, for sure. If you mention like that you're one of your ankles is hurt, they're for sure going to make you try to lean on that ankle and try to get any advantage they can. They're going to use that against you. I totally agree with that.
Or you could just be Kobe and learn to shoot with the other hand.
That's true.
Don't make excuses.
That's true. And then you get the coldest picture of all time when you're on the bench with all the ice packs on you.
Hydration break. Don't forget to drink your daily gallon, kids.
I also think it'd be like if you were battling an injury, it could be the other way where like, and if you win the game, I'm dropping that I'm hurt in that interview after I win for sure.
Yeah, but I'd find like a sick way.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I would just
clean.
not say anything and just on Twitter just like post the X-ray.
Oh, that's
Straight up.
sick. That is actually the coolest way. You post the injury and then put the dogs in your X-ray too. By the way, now you don't even need to put like
Post the X-ray and then a picture of your stat line for the night.
So that would be the coldest picture. That'd be the coldest tweet of all time. Colder than Tony Brown's feet when he posted that one.
We have a friend, and I think everybody has friends like this.
I think I know where you're going with this.
And tag this friend in the comment because there's definitely somebody that's going to come to mind. We have a friend that is consistently spreading misinformation about sports rumors.
Yeah.
That sees like a Twitter account will post NBA news or NFL news.
Yeah.
And then you look closely and it's like, is that Bleacher Report or is that Blatcher Report?
That's exactly.
Or is that
yes.
like something like that? You look, you're like, oh wow, that's really crazy. And then you look closely and it's like, no,
Yeah.
this is completely not true.
Exactly. We've had moments on the podcast where like I've mentioned something and you're like, I don't think that's true. And I looked at the tweet, I was like, this man sent me a Blatcher report.
Yes.
And he like really, he's not doing it to mess with us. He really believes it's true.
Yeah. No, and I don't know why people make these accounts, why they
Yeah.
do this, what's in it for you, other than just watching the world burn. But
usually I can tell, but it's like LeBron marries Giannis. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it.
no,
It's a joke.
there's somewhere they make it. It's just out there enough.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Let me find. Here's one example. This is one that this unnamed friend sent.
Mm-hmm.
He said he sent something from some not Bleacher, not
Bleacher,
Woj,
yeah.
some
No.
knockoff Woj.
no, this is Bosch for sure.
Said this was a trade that the Timberwolves turned down. The Timberwolves receive Kevin Durant. The Nets receive Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 first-round draft picks.
Yeah. And then, oh man, it was wild. He was like, I think he told me the other day, he's like, why did they reject this trade? Like, are they idiots? I'm like, dude, this has to be illegal. This would have to get like rejected. Like this can't be right.
No.
And as you look closer, it's straight up like sometimes he sends us ones where it's just straight up like the account is called like not Bleacher Report, not Woj, and he still falls for it.
Yeah, no, I see the craziest stuff.
Is it the Laker one? Does he send me the Laker one too?
Oh, I can't. There's been some crazy.
He sent me one time. It was like Lakers get Kevin Durant, Nets get, it was like Westbrook, AD, 5 first-round picks. I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, sick. And but the way he sent me that one, he sent me that because my favorite team's the Nets, his favorite team's the Lakers. He sent me that trade and then sent like the demon emoji and said, looks like our teams are in talks. I'll say, man, if that trade got rejected, what trade would get accepted? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think moral of the story, take the little bit of time before you send it. Before you send it in the group chat, reacting, talking about how crazy this deal is, or this news, this injury, whatever it is, take a little second before you send it to your boys in the group chat to click on the profile. Mm-hmm. Do you see a blue check mark, or do you see Blatcher Report?
Yeah, exactly.
Adrian Wojnarowski, or do you see what do you see in there?
Yeah, what do you see? And now that you've been warned,
and does it have like 1,000 followers, or does it have millions,
or 36?
Because there's some fake news out there.
Oh yeah, and now that you guys have been warned, if your friend sends a Blatcher Report in the group chat and thinks it's real, everybody can now flame him because you've been warned, right? Everybody needs to attack him, and then one of you can go into his chat and be like, hey man, here's how you make sure it's real, and like give him like a scouting report. Send him the links to the real Bleacher Report and Woj so he knows what real accounts to follow. Because I've seen some, I'm like, follows this dude with 13,000 followers. I'm sorry, a blank friend follows this account with 13,000 followers and thought it just dropped the bombshell of a lifetime. It felt like it's like when we dropped Derek's news. I was like, oh, this account's dropping. It is very wild.
Man, what's the deal? Shadam Lefter says Shadam Lefter and Bean Bappert both say that Tom Brady's signing with the Jaguars.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, can you believe this? It's just like LeBron pregnant? I'm like, what, dude? Those are the ones where I'm like, okay, I get those ones are funny. But then the ones that like he sends us, I'm like, these like he actually fell for this. Like I got him.
Yeah, no, there's somewhere I'm like they're like close enough to real life to where it's like, yeah.
He's given me heart attacks before where he's texted me and he's been like, Katie broke his leg. I'm like, what? And I have to check. I'm like, I like the blank friend. The nearest thing I could find is an account with 300 followers saying that Katie broke his leg.
Another one that this same friend sent was the thing about Kyrie buying a house in LA.
Yes, that one, guys.
Kyrie buys a house in LA. Bro, looks like it's happening. It's a done deal, basically. And then I Google it, not one thing. I go on Twitter, search Kyrie LA, find some janky tweets from some random accounts with a couple hundred followers talking about this.
Let me give you another warning on Twitter. If you're like, oh, my friend sent me this, let me check it, and you put it in recent. If the replies are saying it, it's probably all under the one fake account. Because that's what got me. I was like, oh, a lot of people are tweeting about it. It was just under the one fake post.
Yes, the Kyrie LA house one, that one was getting spread around.
Yeah, that one was getting thrown
But
around.
It all came back to the same account. They were
post,
all citing the same one. It was all the same source.
It was like LA Houses says. I was really, I'll never forgive him.
No.
But there are some of your friends out there, and guys like our friend, who like, they see one thing pop up, and it's like, this is a deal. Like, trade rumors, he's like, it's a deal. Like, we're getting this. And then it's nothing like it happened.
No, the whole idea of trade rumor accounts is so goofy to me.
Yeah.
Because what constitutes trade rumors?
Exactly.
Or talks, where they're like, like you could say like, rumors of Kevin Durant going to the Lakers. Like, yeah, rumors, but rumors from who?
Oh, yeah.
like technically, I can't prove that's false because there are rumors. There by you posting that, you're starting rumors. Exactly. There are now rumors.
Just that account could tell his mom Katie's getting traded, and then he can tweet. Now that's a rumor.
That's like, this is something people are talking about.
Exactly. Or NFL execs. That could just be some random NFL dude or like defensive coordinator that's like, oh, yeah, we really don't like Tom Brady. I'm like, okay, man.
I'll just start posting. An unnamed source says, unnamed source, me.
Yeah, it's me, my man. We need to make another account called like Blarvester Report. Blarvester Blorts.
That's good. Looks like it's the part of the podcast where we do our Minecraft impressions.
I can't. POV, you trying to sleep in your Minecraft day one house.
What's the gas sound like?
They're like crying and whispering.
The Enderman just goes.
POV, you're out of stamina and arc.
Didn't they change the Roblox sound?
Yeah, but apparently they copied it. That was good. Ooh.
That one was not in.
Because it was like. Oh, it was really good. Why is the gaslight crying? Just like this.
Because he's trapped in another dimension where there's no lava. He's got nowhere to land. He's just always flying around.
Why is this guy crying? Because he's trapped in hell. My bad.
Yeah, he's in.
He's a floating baby trapped in hell. I get it now. So the Raiders this offseason got Davante Adams, right? They got the best wide receiver in football. I guarantee you, it could be week one. We could lose a game week one. Our first game we lose, all hell's gonna break loose. You know what I'm saying? Because people are waiting on like, you know, the Derek stuff, like our new coach, Davante Adams. Our first loss, guys, delete Twitter.
The first game that Davante receives less than 8 targets.
Yeah, no, it's over.
Davante Adams not being used properly without Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. And the first game that the first week that Aaron Rodgers wins a game and the Raiders lose a game, guys, stay off Twitter. It's not going to be good.
Any of you out there that are not Chiefs, Broncos, or Chargers fans, take a second to think about what team, besides my favorite team, do I want to see win the Super Bowl? And then think about, why would it not be the Raiders?
Exactly.
Why would you ever hate on the Raiders?
Yeah, exactly.
What's not to love?
Who doesn't like?
It's legit them boys.
Them boys.
We got a reunion. We got
We got Hunter Renfrew. We got a Fortnite player.
we got a Fortnite player. We got just some straight good dudes on this team.
We got good dudes. We got guys like Josh Jacobs who came from literally nothing and now are playing in the NFL.
We got some great stories.
We have an amazing story. Yeah, exactly. Why would you not like us?
Please.
Just let it root for us. And guys, by the way, Raiders are probably the easiest team to dress for. Everybody has a black shirt. Everyone has a black something.
I know y'all shop at Hot Topic.
I know the deal. As soon as if we're in the playoffs and your team is not, I'll throw in the black. Because guess what? I'm not going to be wearing the blue for long after the season, week 17. About Deshaun Watson, real quick. Okay, my bad for throwing this out. People are saying it is very suspicious that he suspended that many games specifically to come back the week he plays his former team, the Texans.
It is wild.
11 games. They said 11 games.
It's also a specific number.
Yeah.
Which makes you be like...
No, it's like, why not 12? It's like, no, you're going to spend 11 games, and the week you come back, you're playing your former team. Is that not a little like, whoa? They knew what they were doing, I think. They knew something.
Yeah, that's going to be a wild game.
That is going to be wild.
Davis Mills going for 400, 5 tutties, no picks.
There are going to be some really good revenge games this year. And I feel like Matt Corral's hurt. He's out for the season now. It's Sam Darnold versus Baker Mayfield now. Battle.
Yeah, I guess they probably definitely haven't announced who's starting week 1, right?
No, it's probably going to be Baker.
From what based on my own knowledge, I'd pick Baker above.
Yeah, and just based off just them trading for him, I'd be like, okay, we kind of have an idea.
Yeah, that's true too. Usually, usually you don't trade for backups. Usually, they fall in your lap.
Yeah, they just go in. Hello.
That's one of the things that I like most about preseason is turning on a TV, a game starts, and just realizing what team all these different backup quarterbacks are on. They just get rotated around to different teams all different years. I'm like, oh, he's on this team now.
Yeah, do you ever get where you're like, I haven't heard that name in a minute, and he's here.
I'm like, hey, he exists still.
It's also wild. I noticed it in the draft when I watched certain channels and in the preseason. Some announcers get extremely disrespectful to some of these players. Like when they're like in the draft, Tyler noticed it specifically. They're saying, this guy drafted here. He's probably like he's like practice squad. He's gonna get cut, bounce around a little bit. It's like, whoa, bro! Like, can we breathe? These are real humans we're talking about. And then like preseason, it's like he'll never play another snap after that one. I'm like, can we just relax?
The Raiders social media team. Did you see they posted when the game was starting the other day? The caption they posted was something about like battling for roster spots, and I was like, "Whoa, but that feels kind of like
that's your team, dude."
I'm like, "These are your boys."
We're trying to like really boost up like we're the Raiders. We're like saying like we're like rough and tough. You make it or you don't. That's wild too.
What I hadn't realized is that the Jets' backup quarterback is Joe Flacco, who's going to be playing for the first few weeks.
Mm-hmm. And
do you feel like they're missing out on a lot those first few weeks?
And I think they play the Ravens.
I just feel like I haven't seen Joe Flacco for a minute, but he's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
I feel like
there is
to be clear, I don't think the Jets are going to have a good season.
Yeah,
but at the end of the year, I don't think it'll be like, oh, it's because he missed those first few games.
But they're like, I think you're right. He is Super Bowl MVP. There's something deep inside Joe Flacco that he can bring out. There might be a little bit of that juice left.
Mm-hmm.
He might come out and just throw for 400 yards in a game, and we'll be like, "Where'd that go?" And then it might never happen again.
He'd have to retire.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
Mm-hmm. You have to punt the ball in the stands.
Start bench cut.
You threw my own game at me. All right, let's go.
Start bench cut for this season alone, based on how well you think they will do this season, or based on how good they are. Start bench cut based on how good they are currently. Tyler Lockett, Odell Beckham Jr., Amari Cooper.
This season, the man has a torn ACL.
Please.
But this,
Why did that not even occur to me as I was
well, if it's this season, Amari, Tyler Lockett, torn ACL.
That's disrespectful if you cut him just because he has torn ACL.
I mean, realistically, I can't cut him because he's on injured reserve. So he has to be benched. So there'd be Amari, Odell on the bench.
I was just thinking of random receivers that are around the same skill
panicked,
area, and
I just it's gonna work though. It'll work for a video. So I would go Amari starting, Odell's on the bench for when he comes back from injured reserve. We're cutting Tyler Lockett.
What if I replace Odell? Start bench cut.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp. Adam Thielen.
Thought it was real.
That is. What do you mean? You thought it was real?
Okay.
I mean, it's
a very specific list. It's all slot wide receivers.
How old's Courtland Sutton?
Don't throw Courtland Sutton at me right now.
He's 26. Dang, old head.
It's 4 years older than me. Makes Brandon Jones' age. Throw up.
If you had to invest in one of these players for the rest of their career,
okay, like a stock, I got it.
Would you invest in Jalen Waddle or Davante Smith?
Oh man, Davante Smith might be good now with AJ Brown on his team. I'll go.
Both those teams have good receiving cores currently.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill and then AJ Brown.
And famously, it's if you are a wide receiver that struggled at the number one spot and a guy comes in that will now draw the focus, you're going to have a pretty good season. Like Juju is better if there's a number one guy on the team.
Yeah, both of them are strengthened by good receivers.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say, oh man, that's actually really hard. I think I would say Jalen Waddle still though. That's hard because Waddle and Tyreek Hill are basically going to like play like the same position kind of.
Both, I mean, they're both just real fast guys. They're both speedy.
I would do Jalen Waddle. What about you? It's gonna be close because
I mean,
you have to think about Tua versus Jalen Hurts also.
That's what I was gonna say is that I like the QB. It's close, but I would be more inclined to invest in Davante Smith just because I feel like there's a lot up in the air with quarterback situation and other stuff in Miami that it's sort of, I don't know, no fault of Jalen Waddle, but
yeah,
I'm also very high on Jalen Hurts.
That was a really good one. All right, start bench cut Legends edition. Okay, and I'll call them legends. Don't say he's not a legend. Okay, Big Ben, Eli, Phillip Rivers, boys from the same draft class. Start bench cut.
If I had to keep one throughout their whole career or like prime.
It's hard to say when someone's prime was. We'll just say their whole. Okay, we'll just do prime. It's hard to say when someone's prime is, but sure.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of subjective when their prime is and how long their prime is.
Yeah, but sure, go like it at their best. I think I.
Man, that's actually tougher than I thought it would be. I
would cut Phillip Rivers. I think
that's what I was gonna say. Is I think I'm gonna cut Phillip. I'm gonna start Big Ben just because undeniably his career win percentage is much higher than Eli's at 50%.
50-50.
That being said, one of the big reasons why I'm keeping Eli around over Phillip is despite his career win percentage not being there, Eli, when it matters,
clutch. Exactly.
And so, for that reason, a guy that shows up in the playoffs in the Super Bowl,
so
what more could you want? So he's got more rings than he's got more rings than Ben. So maybe I put him at one.
Me specifically, I'd start Eli. But if Big Ben's not working the playoffs, you'd be like, Eli, we need a miracle. Just throw something up, and it'll probably come down.
I might during regular season have Big Ben in there, and then when it comes time for the playoffs, when it comes time for playoffs and we're the big underdogs, I'm gonna just throw Eli in there and say, all right, do your thing.
If you look at the schedule and you're the wild card and Eli's on your roster, you're like, we're gonna be okay. This is gonna be fine. Okay, this is gonna be start bench cut, but it's gonna be Either you get this quarterback in his backup, or you get a different quarterback in his backup. Okay, so you have to pick.
So not start bench.
Oh,
cut
so
at
it's just start. It's just which would you pick?
all. Okay, which duo?
Yeah, which duo would you take? They're gonna one's gonna be his prime, one's gonna be the younger guy. It's gonna be just how it was when they played.
Can I guess who you're gonna say?
Yeah, go.
I think you're gonna say Montana Young and then
Favre.
Rodgers.
Yeah, so Montana Young, Favre, Rodgers. Which would you rather take on your team?
Niners.
I think Niners first. Yeah, I think they're. It's just because, I mean, Aaron's better than Brett. You know, Brett was a great quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers has to be better than Brett. And I think Joe Montana and Steve Young were both, are considered top 10, 15 quarterbacks.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it is that yes, I agree. I'm looking at it as I'm in it to win Super Bowls. Who's going to give me Super Bowls?
There you go. Or you could throw another one in. You could throw Aaron Rodgers,
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Hey, fast. Or Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's true.
Does that count?
Yeah,
I don't think it does.
You could throw another one, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees.